Howdy everybody, I'm Keith Warren and welcome to Deer and Wildlife Stories, where right now it's the last week of July. We're just outside of Shepherd, Texas at Big Time Whitetails and Exotics. The white-tailed deer is America's favorite big game animal, and whitetail deer farming is the fastest growing segment in the agriculture industry. Our program's mission is to dive into the world of deer farming and inform you of how deer farmers all over the country are now using rapidly developing science-based research on their captive deer herds to solve the chronic wasting disease issue through selective breeding. Not only is this new science working, but it's obvious that captive deer breeding is the only way to help save America's deer herds from CWD, which will help improve overall herd health and at the same time can produce more quality trophy-sized animals for the general public. Join me as we discover how whitetail genetics, deer auctions, animal husbandry, and so much more drive the modern-day deer farming industry. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories.
My name is Daryl McMaster. I own Big Time Whitetails and Exotics, LLC, and we're here in Shepherd, Texas. We raise whitetail deer, fallow deer, axis deer, red stag, oryx. We got kudu now, sable, just about everything. Our business is really expanding now. We have a helicopter now. We go out and we fly ranches. We do animal capture, we do predator control. A lot of these ranch owners, they don't have time to be at that ranch. We come in, we take care of all of it. They don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, right now, the whitetail business, you know, everybody's worried about CWD, but it's crazy how good the exotic business is. Everybody's wanting all these different exotics, and that's where we come in.
So the name Big Time Whitetails and Exotics, I mean, really and truly, I mean, y'all are known throughout the industry as really starting with whitetails. And I mean, we were here last year and you got some great whitetails. You still got great whitetails. Look at this, folks. I mean, you got a ton of great whitetails. But the truth of the matter is that the name of the business, I think maybe ought to be Big Time Exotics and Whitetails, because the exotics are really overshadowing the whitetails. And we're going to be showing you a lot of exotics on today's show. All right, but what we want to do, we're going to show you the whitetails. When you look at these whitetails, I mean, look at these guys. They're giant. Okay, you think, how could exotic animals overshadow deer like this? And so I want Daryl to tell you about his customers on the whitetail deer and how his business is transitioning over.
Yeah, a lot of our customers come over here and they buy some bred does and breeder bucks, but when they get over here and they see all these exotics we got, with the fallow and the huge axis and everything else we have, they want it all.
They've got what may be the biggest axis deer in the world. We're going to show him to you. We're going to show him to you a little later on the show. But I mean, when you take a look at these breeder bucks, these are all breeders.
Yes, sir.
People have dealt with Big Time for a long time in the whitetail world because they want to put these genetics on their property. Okay, they want the genetic improvement. And so if you're interested in improving your whitetail herd, I mean, there's no better way to do it than just to buy good breeder quality deer and put them out there. And I mean, I look at the price of entry today compared to the price of entry maybe 5 years ago and tell everybody what the price of entry has done on these whitetails now.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, it's gone down. It's a whole lot more affordable. I mean, a whole lot more affordable. Matter of fact, it's really never been more affordable to stock these great genetics than it is today. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
And so out of all these bucks you have, there's one that you got from MVP. We filmed him last year. And what is his name?
His name is Big League.
Tell him a little bit about him.
Yeah, he's a blackjack son. Our customers want the big typical look, so that's what we do, you know.
Well, he's got it. I mean, and these deer are just absolutely beautiful. All right, so we're showing you all these breeder bucks right now, but in the industry, there's something called stalker bucks, okay? And here at Big Time, they sell probably more stalker bucks than anybody in the state of Texas for sure.
Yeah.
And tell everybody what a stalker buck is.
Stalker buck is a buck that customer comes out here and picks out what they want, you know, and releases them on their ranch to improve their genetics on their ranch.
And they've got great genetics. It's just they don't have great enough genetics to turn into a breeder.
Right.
Just yet, because a lot of these stockers, they'll buy them at what, 1, 2, 3 years old, and once they are out there on the pasture for a couple, 3 years, they may blow up and look just like that.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, so if somebody wants to come out here and take a look at the whitetail, when would you recommend the best time to be, and how would they go about setting up an appointment?
Yeah, probably about right now. This time of year is when everybody shows up, looks at all the bucks, comes out here and picks up stalker bucks, you know, and lets us know how many bred does they want for next year.
The time really to look at whitetails is the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of June, you can start telling, hey, that guy's gonna push, that guy's gonna do good. But by the end of July, you know who's gonna do good.
Yeah, you know.
Give them a contact so they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, my phone number is 936-402-3138, or you can go to our website, bigtimewhitetailsandexotics.com.
And when we get back from the break, we're gonna show you some unbelievable exotics. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by MVP Whitetails, Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics, UVC Power Sports Tractors and Outdoors, and Rafter P Construction. For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube and Facebook.
My name is Greg Carswell. I'm partners with Daryl McMaster in Big Time Whitetails and Exotics. The fallow deer industry was the first exotic that Daryl and I moved into when we moved away from just doing whitetail deer. The fallow deer industry is absolutely unbelievable. At any point in time, I thought it may slow down, but it's actually getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's growing. More and more successful breeders are getting into this thing. One misconception that I hear, and I hear it often, well, I'm too late to the party. Everybody's ahead of me, and that is so untrue. You are not too late to the party. This fallow deer thing is about 2.5 years old. Texas is going to be the destination for people worldwide coming in to shoot fallow deer like they've never seen before. And I'm talking about 400, maybe 500, 600-inch fallow deer. And how can you be too late for the party if something's only 2.5 years old? Call us. We can get you in this game. It is absolutely the best exotic right now to get into and start a deer farm. There's no state or government regulations. Your regulations are what you set. So I recommend everybody to not think that they're late to the party and come join the party.
So if you're interested in the fallow market and you live anywhere in the country, you're gonna heard of Big Time Whitetails and Exotics. That's where we are right now. And Daryl, do you have probably the biggest collection of big, giant fallow deer that I've seen, at least this year for sure? Tell everybody who you've got here in the pen, how old they are and all.
That's Triple Fine right there.
Okay, and so tell everybody about his pedigree.
Yeah, it's Sledgehammer over Miss Fine.
And both those deer are legends in the fallow industry now. And these deer are pedigreed. And that's important because you don't want to just go out there and just buy a brown deer with no pedigree. You're kind of rolling the dice big time. But when you deal with somebody like Big Time and you deal with somebody that's got pedigrees, you know what you're buying.
Yeah.
But Triple Fine, he is fine. But how about that one right there?
That's All In right there.
Look, he is beautiful. Now, All In is, you got a partner, Aubrey, right?
Aubrey, yes, sir.
So what that means is that you're taking semen out of that deer right there, out of All In, and putting it in his does.
Right.
Okay, and the reason why is to get that buck in more does and to prove him out because he's absolutely beautiful. Now, who's that right there?
That's Easy Money.
Look at that. Easy Money is a beautiful deer, and I'm a partner on Easy Money. Now, the thing about partnerships, I think a partnership will help improve the odds of success, especially when you deal with a deer like Easy Money or All In or these deer. And the reason why is because the partners are going to put that semen in their deer, okay? And then the fawn, so the offspring, you're going to give a chance for that deer to show what he can do on that farm. And so you're going to have more people pushing that deer. Who's that buck right there?
That's Eruption, one of my favorite ones. 4 years old, he's amazing. You know, Sledgehammer on top, Mighty Moose on bottom.
Holy smokes, did we film him last year?
No.
Really?
No.
So you brought him in?
We brought him in. MVP, Jade Webster, partnered with me on that buck.
Who's he?
That's Hammer Time.
Oh, we filmed him last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is unbelievable. How old is he now?
He's 6 years old, but probably has one of the best pedigrees, you know, in the fallow industry. Sledgehammer over lady, back over the top of lady, and
Really?
yeah.
So anybody in the fallow deer world has heard of lady and
Yeah.
sledgehammer, and I mean, look, hammer time. I mean, that's unreal. Okay, how about that one?
That's Capone.
And we filmed him last year
Yeah.
too. So all these deer that we're showing you, okay, well, Eruption wasn't here last year.
No, sir.
Okay, but these other deer were here. You got offspring out of them, and you have does that are bred to these guys, and you
Right.
sell offspring and bred does as well, right?
Right.
Okay, and that dude right there, who is he?
That's Colt.
Did we film him last year?
Yes, sir.
Man,
Yep.
that is phenomenal. So you're growing your own genetics.
Yep.
Okay, the market is emerging, and you're able to create these pedigrees, and we're gonna save the best for last, okay? Who's that buck right there?
It's big money.
Oh, look at him. I mean, that's a beast.
Yeah,
okay?
for sure.
He's a beast. And you got semen on him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The semen sales have been good, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Last I talked to us, like, you're selling out. I mean, you put it out there. Okay, I got semen for big money. I'm going to sell 20 straws. Boop, gone.
Yeah, we sold out again.
And you can see why. Okay, so if somebody wants more information about getting in the fallow industry, coming out here and taking a look at what Big Time Whitetails and Exotics has, give them a phone number.
Yeah, it's 936-402-3138, or look us up on our website, bigtimewhitetailsandexotics.com.
Located just outside of Shepherd, Texas, just north of Houston, about an hour, kind of up towards Livingston. But it's worth the drive out here. Take a look at it right now. It's the 3rd week of July, and the deer are absolutely beautiful. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Big Time Whitetails and Exotics, LE Fence, the Texas Deer Association, UVC Power Sports Tractors and Outdoors, and New Dart. Deer and Wildlife Stories will be right back. Closed captioning is brought to you by Advanced Deer Genetics. You know, one of the cool things about what I do is I get to go to all these different deer farms and see really behind the scenes what's going on. And while I'm here at Big Time, the enthusiasm here for business, for life in general, is just over the top. I love that. Everything is optimistic. You talk to the partners, they love it. They have a very bright future.
Yeah, you know, being in the deer business, it's done a lot for us here. You know, we get to live out here in the country and not have to worry about the city life. And, you know, we got 3 generations here now. Myself, my son Lane that runs everything, and now he has a young son now his name is Miles, and my daughter's here, my brother's here. You know, my whole family's here every day. Yeah, this is just a lifestyle that we love the most. I wouldn't want to do anything else. Yeah, I mentioned this is a family business, but I do have a partner, Greg Carswell, and he's at all the deer shows with me. Everywhere I'm at, he's usually there.
This thing has really brought all of our families, the McMasters and the Carswells, closer together. Our families run this company. We were doing this for our children to take over this business one day. A big piece of property is not necessary. You can do this with 10 or 20 acres. You can start farming. It gets your family outside. It gets them out of the house. It gets your family working together. You see the productivity. Our kids love it. They're a huge part of this. They help us with every aspect of this. You don't have to have, you know, $400,000 combine. You don't have to have tractors and skid steers and all that. You can actually do this with a buggy, a few pins, and a lot of help from your family. The help from the family is actually what drives Daryl and I every day to continue to grow this company and see the success that it's had in the smiles on our children's faces. One of the things that excites us the most here at Big Time Whitetails and Exotics is having you come out and do a farm tour. So we would love for you to come out, bring your wife, bring your kids, spend the day with us, look at all these animals. We would love to show you around. We'll take you, we'll go eat lunch. We love to do farm tours. So if you're in the area, we're located between Livingston and Shepherd, please call us, come out and enjoy this lifestyle with us.
Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds, the North American Deer Registry, New Dart, CC Bar Whitetails, and the North American Deer Farmers Association. Now for some great information on fencing from our friends at LE Fence.
Hey guys, this is Ron with LE Fence. Right now, we just built 2 new braces in an existing fence line. We're gonna put a gate in here so that on this new deer pin, we can now flush deer out of this portion of the deer pin that we just cut in half. What we got going on right now is Ulmer, he's cutting the vertical stays off of the net wire and pulling the knots off so that we have some material to wrap around the pipe and tie the fence off to the pipe. If we do it in this fashion, we do not have to re-stretch the net wire. We don't just cut the net wire up and then it fall over. We're just trying to save time and be efficient with what we're doing. That way we can keep the same integrity that we had with the existing fence. So all he's doing now is when he comes around the pipe, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap around that wire, pull it up, and then he's just gonna wrap it around 4 or 5 times, get a real tight pull on it. That way the fence is pulled nice and tight, nothing's gonna pull it down.
All right, so we're going to show you what I think is the biggest axis deer I've ever seen in the world, okay, in a second. But we want to start with a buck by the name of Triple Play. So tell everybody about Triple Play.
Yeah, he's 34-inch tines, 34 inches wide. He's a nice deer. We got Jade Webster at MVP, he's a partner, and Mike Miller at Valiant Ranch.
Yep.
We actually have that buck out there in Mountain Home at his place at our partners.
And I went and filmed that guy, and I mean, when he looks at you, the width on him is absolutely remarkable. I mean,
yeah.
He's got the look that I think that hunters want. There's a lot of people that come to Texas to hunt, okay, and people that are watching the television show. I mean, you probably likely are a hunter. And when people come to Texas, most people now are asking, hey, I'd like to hunt for axis deer. The problem is, it's really hard to find a place that's got big axis deer.
That's right.
Okay, and the reason why is because they've never been farmed. It's been left out to the wild, and I mean, it's just been luck. I've gone out on axis hunts for many, many years. I've shot lots of them, but I've never shot a great big one because they weren't farmed like they are today.
Yeah.
But big time, they're changing that. All right, so you've got Triple Play, and he's over at Mike Miller's place.
Yep.
But you've got that axis deer right there. Tell me about him.
That's Bo Cephas.
And how
2-year-old.
old is he? No way.
Yeah, 2-year-old.
Bo Cephas wasn't here last year, was he?
No, sir.
Okay, so you went out and picked him and
Yep.
brought him to be a part of your breeding team,
That's
right? I don't think an axis deer is really going to peak out until he's about 5, 6
Right.
years old, like a
Yeah.
whitetail.
That's right.
But at 2 years old, he's a monster.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so he's going to do good. So on the axis deer, I mean, a lot of axis guys that I've talked to find difficulty because axis are so spastic. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
wild, so they don't do well in pens. But these guys are seemingly doing well.
We spend a lot of time with them. It's a lot of work, but a lot of our axis does are bottle raised. We bottle raise them, keep them all calm as we can.
Montana does that?
Montana does it.
She loves it, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
No way I could do it like she does it. She loves them.
So as far as axis deer go, let's talk about the breeding, okay? Do you have plans to try to develop a breeding program where you artificially inseminate?
Yes, sir. You know, the thing with axis deer is you got like summer axis and winter axis, so their cycles are going to be different. You got to figure all that out. It's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, and these guys, like I said, they are on the leading edge of all this. And so the fallow deer, the market is already going, traction, and it is going wide open. The axis deer, I'm gonna make a prediction. 3 years, the axis deer market is gonna be going wide open because of guys like Daryl
I agree.
and Greg. It's gonna happen. So they went and cherry picked the best of the best that they can find, and now we're gonna show you the best. We're gonna show you a buck that I think is perhaps the biggest axis deer I've ever seen in my life. And that right there is, in my opinion, one of the biggest axis deer in the world, and his name is MVP. Check him out. Now you may be wondering why the name MVP. Now if you've been watching our show for years and years, you've heard MVP Whitetails.
Yep.
I mean, anybody in the whitetail industry knows Jade Webster and his family, and Jalen, his son, and the MVP Whitetails. And tell them why that buck's name is MVP.
Jade partnered with us on that buck right there. We're partners on him, so there's no doubt that Jay can help us promote that deer probably better than anybody else.
So are there any other partners on MVP?
Yes, sir. 2 more, actually. BLC
Okay.
and Valiant Ranch.
Wow. Okay. But that buck right there, MVP, he's absolutely a game changer. What is it, 36, you think?
Yeah, he's 36 by 36 is what he is.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. How old do you think he is?
I think he's probably about 5 years old.
But I never in my life have seen an axis deer like MVP.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Ever. I mean, I've seen thousands of them, and he is crazy big. So you're gonna breed him, and then he's gonna stay here. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going nowhere.
I don't blame you.
He's staying here. This is home.
Holy smokes. So if you're interested in looking at exotics, I can't recommend anybody more than this guy right here. Give him a telephone number and a website, and give him a call, because this is an emerging market. It's profitable. It is. It's a lot of fun. It's good for your health. It's good for the environment. So give me your phone number.
Yeah, it's 936-402-3138, or go to our website, bigtimewhitetailsandexotics.com.
And I think if you come out here, you're going to be impressed big time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And
Thanks,
thank
Steve.
you all very much for watching. And if you got any questions or comments and you're watching online, you know what to do. Just go ahead and post them below. If you're not watching online, head on over to the Deer Farming channel, and you can catch all of our programs going back more than 10 years. We've got hundreds of programs on there. Make sure and check it out, and we'll catch you next time. For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube and Facebook.